Welcome to our Be the Sun, Not the Salt podcast. My name is Dr. Harry Cohen, and I'm joined by my co-host and chief super spreader, Connie Fontaine. And this is another in a series of how do I practice being heliotropic in the face of difficult circumstances? And this topic is, how do I maintain my positive energy when I am going through a difficult time, whether that's physically, emotionally, or in any other wayedly? So, Connie?
Any other wayedly. Yeah, I think you think about the number of times you have to show up, and sometimes it's minor. You've just rushed home from the store and you need to show up in the right way, or you come home from work and you want to make sure you show up for your family in the right way. But other times I think of the day to day where we're showing up for each other and in the work that we do. And I think the best thing we do is say, hey, I'm having a tough day today. Just want you to know I just got here and I don't feel as prepared yet. And the other person getting a chance to acknowledge that, hey, are you okay? You want to keep going, or should we start over? You want to do it tomorrow? I think that
And
it really
that's really important, to acknowledge your own difficulty and share it authentically and vulnerably with the other. It's very hard for people
right,
sometimes to say, I am having a difficult time.
right.
I am going through something quite difficult or hard or distracting or painful or whatever. I mean, on a continuum, there's everything under the sun, from horrible tragedy to mild difficulty to discomfort to just rushing and
Right.
not being in a good frame of mind. So on that continuum, I love it when people say, listen, let me just tell you what I'm going through. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to need a little bit of time or whatever. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? I'm not capable of being my 100% right now.
That's who I am. I'm
Yeah.
usually wearing my heart on my sleeve. But a lot of people I've had just say, I'm not had a good day today. I just want you guys to know I'm working through it and I'm going to be fine. But I need
Yeah.
a little grace. And that's okay too.
Yeah.
That alone puts everybody at ease that there's not something else going on in the background, that this person isn't frustrated for another reason. And I think it just sets the tone for trust and caring, etc.
I agree, it also models vulnerability, authenticity, self-awareness, generosity in terms of giving the people or the person you're talking to the truth of what's going on in your inner world. Well, thank you. I appreciate you giving me that. Most people contain it. They're going through a difficult time and they don't want to share it for fear that they're going to be a burden. They're not a burden. They allow people to feel connected to them. This is one of the most remarkable phenomena of human nature. You are more connected to people when you are vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Authentically vulnerable literally makes other people feel connected to you. So the extent that we can say, here's what's going on for me right now. I don't want to make this all about me.
Right.
And at the same time, I can't ignore
That there's
whatever it is. This is a thing. I'm going to get a phone call for someone who I need to take because I can't stop thinking about what's going on for him, her, he's in the hospital. Or I've got a pain that won't go away. And I hate that I have to admit this, but this pain is distracting me. Well, thank you for telling me. You know what I mean? You're not weak for telling us that something is really, really difficult for you. You're in fact strong and generous for telling us.
we started riffing off this. I was immediately putting myself in the workplace, but this makes me think about as a parent or even as in a relationship, when you catch yourself not being your best self,
Mhm.
to be brave enough and say to your child, I'm sorry. Mommy just had a really tough thing happen to her a little while ago, and it made me feel like not nice inside. And I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I didn't mean to make it sound that way coming out. Um, that that alone you show your kid, first of all, you're modeling that behavior of mommy's going to be honest. Mommy has feelings too, but mommy doesn't get an excuse because of that.
Beautiful. Wouldn't it be cool, or when we see leaders and organizations do the same thing? Hey, I just left a terrible meeting. Let me get my head in the right frame. I snapped at you and I want to stop and apologize and say, listen, why I did that is, there's something going on that made me irritated, but
Mhm.
that's no excuse. Acknowledge what's going on for us. is the real key, which is being courageous enough to tell people, here's what I'm doing, and I don't want to make that the reason for my negativity. I want to tell you that this is what I'm carrying, and let other people share in the burden.
Yeah, it's not an excuse, but it's a reason. And it's
Right.
okay. It's okay to have a reason. Yeah, I think of the number of times that you get through a situation and then you move on. And I love what you just said. It's okay to go back after the fact and say, hey, even if it was yesterday I wasn't at my best. And I hope that it didn't make you feel bad, but this is what I'm going through. And I really appreciate you being patient with me. I would think so highly of somebody that took the time to come back and do that after the fact.
We all go through difficult times. I was telling a group of people that I don't experience a lot of chronic pain. Acknowledging that we're having difficulty is where it's at. We all go through difficulty, and whether it's personal pain or emotional pain, it's really important to own it, share it, and move on and try our very best to be an uplifting force even while we're going through difficulty.
Well, and when you do that in a meeting, at least my experiences, and when I've done that in a meeting, it actually lightens the mood in a way that I don't know if it's because of you talk about vulnerability and trust. It's that everyone starts to have a common connection because we all have been through something similar or at least felt that way coming into a meeting. And so I think people appreciate that honesty.
We were on a Zoom once, and a colleague shared that he was going through a difficult time, and lo and behold, a whole bunch of people reached out to him post meeting and say, "Man, I really appreciate you sharing that." And it just reminded me the guts and courage to share it creates goodness all the way around. So
That's
let's keep
great.
doing it.
For any of you that are going through anything, like on a daily basis, I think about people that have chronic pain,
Mm.
and I can't imagine what that's like. But please, if you're in my world, share it. I'd love to know that that's why the grimace is on your face or why you haven't been able to show up at a meeting
Absolutely.
on time. I think that makes a big difference for all of those around you. So, Harry, I appreciate this. This was a great conversation, and thank you for listening.